Greetings everyone. This is the very first episode of the Real Impact Geeks, and I'm your host Satheesh Veliyath. And for me, it's a perfect honor to welcome my dear friend Kushal Kulkarni. He's a habit transformation and productivity coach, but for me, he's more than a brother. Because when it comes to talking about two of us, I think there is a concept that has been lingering in my thoughts, and I want to share that with you. Is that my first mentor? He mentioned this phenomenon called diabetes skills. I never understood when he first shared that, but I'm sure this concept is going to be relatable to a lot of entrepreneurs out there. Diabetes is one condition that it comes uninvited. We never know when it's really a serious condition unless it is very too late. But as time passes, this grows to become a monster which we can't tame it. And and you just can't defeat that very easily. And why I'm saying that, because there are many monsters that like just like this. I think not just entrepreneurs, people from every walk of life are fighting out there. It might be poor mindset, it might be depression, it might be consistency, credit card debts, perfectionism, procrastination, all this. If we don't work on this monsters, it just compounds and it becomes a huge monster that we just can't tackle it. So when I talk about this monster, these are the general issues where general public are facing on a normal basis. But when it comes to Kushal, he had to face another monster which was waiting for him, and that was he lost his eyesight just because of a very rare eye condition, because of which he lost his vision completely. But the thing is, he fought that monster, he overcame it, he adapted it, and he became a champion for himself. And not he didn't stop there. He just continued his mission to help people out there to fight their own monsters. And the way he took was to become a productivity coach and help people to face that. When it comes to especially to talk about me, he helped me to identify the three monsters which I have been facing. That was productivity, procrastination, and perfectionism. The three P's. And believe me, it was a tough fight for me. I have been facing that for the last 2 3 years, but he was the first person who helped me to really identify those monsters in me. And my resistance were coming up, and let me tell you, he almost surrendered to those monsters as well. There were instances where he was like, okay, sorry bro, I think maybe I should give you a space. But I requested him, just be that light for me and just help me fight that. I need to win this fight. And this person out here is really special for me. He's more than uh, a coach for me. He's like an accountability partner, a brother, and a spiritual guide for me. And he really holded that key to tap into my true potential. So thank you for being you, Kushal. And I just take this opportunity to thank you from my bottom of my heart. And with that, I I want you to speak a little about you.
Wow. The concept, first of all, that you shared was really awesome. It's always good to these kinds of reality. But I would like to add few things shortly on that. And firstly, thank you for inviting on your show. As a like, it's really an honor to be the first guest of a show, the which has just initiated by a person like you, who has so much of talent, skill, the highest potential, the energy that I have sensed in you, Satish. It's, believe me when I'm saying that, you can't beat me with the energies, that, right? I'm not saying that I'm the superior one, but maybe God is building those skills under me, that we get that energy. By default the body gets balancing. So with that energy that I sense from you, it's very genuine and very high. So awesome, and very congratulations on starting this show. And thank you for inviting me as your first guest. And that's a pleasure, right? That's a pleasure to be here. So hi guys, my name is Kushal, and I'm a habit transformation and productivity coach. And The things that Satish shared, firstly, the story about diabetic and make considering that as a monster, I would like to add something here. Diabetes, yes, it's an uninvited guest. I agree that, but slightly we are the someone who is inviting it, and the reason behind that being is wrong lifestyle. The mispatterns of bad eating habits, having the wrong lifestyle about your sleep patterns, about everything, be it your eating, sleeping, working. The wrong lifestyle leads to this. It's like a slow invitation. Daily, it's like reaching inch by inch, then yard by yard. It's reaching out. You're sending the invitation to them. And when you reach out, like you're reaching out. And once one day you are just standing in front of you guys, that monster, and you guys, you are standing in front of each other, and you see that what the hell this big monster is. Similarly, all the monsters that we name it as procrastination, time management, no proper quality time with family, name it anything. These are the things that slowly build. We send them invitation. Okay, like I'm someone like inviting you slowly. The time comes, we meet those monsters, and they are, by the time we come in front of each other, they are so huge that they overtake on us. And then the next element starts coming: overload, overwhelming, stress situations, you know, then the expenses of medicines, because productivity can have impacts on your health as well, right? So this is something I would like to add. And believe me, this can be worked. This can be worked. Even diabetes can be worked. And although I'm not an expert, this is a clear cut disclaimer. I'm not an expert in any of the field. I'm just sharing what worked for me. So again, it needs efforts, right? It needs effort. So when it comes to me, yes, as he said, that there was a challenge waiting for me in 2016 and in the start of 2017. The last days of 16 and initial days of 17 were really challenging for me and my family. There are some who thinks that, like, who thinks of getting visual impaired all of a sudden, right? No one thinks about, oh, I'm going to get blind in the like in at this age or something. No, we don't give those bullshit thoughts on into our life. We are like, I want to grow, I want to make money, I want to have this bungalow, I want to have this car, I want to fly with my family. All these things come into mind. And similarly, I too had this, and really, I too had these thoughts. And believe me, I was making really crazy amount money as well when I was sighted and when I was growing in my journey. Business plus job plus business, whatever you name it. I was really growing crazily in that. But this challenge, like upside down, life is upside down. But again, upside down, it's okay. But still, there was a view, right? Even if the vision is upside down, I was seeing something. Like you might see the mountain straightly, I was looking from the different point of view. But still, there was a view, right? There was something beautiful happening. Not this way, then around that way. Let it go. It took me some time. It took me some time, and time went off like years. It's not like 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, a week or months. They were like years. 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, then 22. These years were the connecting dots. The elements were building me up. Something popped up. There was a challenge with the default challenge of blindness. Then next year, something new pops up. This challenge with the default challenge of your thing. These things started building me up in a very different manner. And ultimately, when I started connecting myself with spirituality, this spirituality, single element, changed the whole level and started giving me a vision. I'm not talking about the eyesight, and it started giving me a vision, man, vision. And with that attitude, when I started moving, I never felt like I was blind, because every time I'm visualizing one or the other thing, that's like, this is happening, that is happening, I'm going to this. Hope am I making sense, Satish? Am I making
Yes,
sense?
yes, you make perfect sense, and thanks for sharing that new perspective that this is not just uninvited. This is something we are slowly inviting these things.
Yes.
Really, thank you for sharing that light on that.
Yeah.
And moving on to the first question that I have is that
Please.
the thing is, in all the major forums. So be it like be it any walk of life, people from every walk of life, be it entrepreneurs or working professionals or students, a
Mm,
major cause of concern that they are facing out is productivity and time management issues.
mm,
And to be frank, even I had a very rudimentary point of view of productivity unless and until I got to work closely with you. And I thought it was just all about the calendar stuff, the working on Pomodoros, waking up early, maintaining that consistency. I just had a very rudimentary point of view about that. And I think many of us have the same perception of productivity.
mm,
And talking on behalf of entrepreneurs, especially, like
mm.
coaches, podcasters, knowledge givers, uh, in that context, how to view productivity and why working on productivity is a need of the hour.
Okay. I'll tell you something that happened in my life, and I want you to connect the dots because I'm not a special person that happened differently in my life. This happens with everyone's life. Let me give you something that happened in my life in 2018. This was a time like in 2017 and a bit of 18. I'm talking the almost like last few weeks of 2018. Okay, there was just some time to finish of 2018, and I was on a state that I was not allowed to take a single leave from my office. The reason behind that was in the previous time in 2017 when the the when your increment period is calculated, the calculation for leaves and your promotions are calculated during that particular specific time. I had a lot of absenteeism into my job. This obviously it is the reason being my headaches, the night blindness issue. I had to work in morning, afternoon, and night shifts. So I used to get scared, and I was completely in a technical platform. Complete machineries, motors running there, pumps are running, always with a sound, boilers, fire, everything. It was complete technical part. I was like getting scared, like, what if I die on spot there? My no, there's some odd thoughts. We just had a baby in my life, and what am I going to die there? With those thoughts, the scary thoughts, I used my absenteeism increased. And in 2018, like when I have the 6 months of the period to end of 2018 was left, I got a notice from the payroll department that Kushal, if you get absent even for a single day or apply a leave, you will lose all your promotions increment for the next year, that is 2019. And I was like crazily mad on that. Like, should I work for 180 days without a break, despite of just having Sundays in my hand? And I was like, yeah, let me take it. That's into my plate. I was moving, just moving, just working. On the other side, I had business as well. One evening, I came from my office around 5:30, and I just got fresh and sat on floor. My kid was playing around that. I'm seriously visualizing that day because that day was so. No, my kid was playing. My wife came around me and sat, and after some time, she just asked me, "Kushal, do you have time?" And I was like, "Yeah, what is it?" I thought she's giving me some task to do. I'm like, "What is it?" And that day, I intentionally decided not to work on anything because I literally wanted to rest up. She asked me, "I'm not giving you any task. Just tell me, do you have time?" I was like, what sense are you asking it? Like, look at your kid. And I like, what is it? She said, our daughter has grown to almost 1.5 years. Did you notice that? And believe me, I thought that was the first time I was looking at my daughter with my heart, mind, and soul, with the real eyes. That hit me so hard. And I was like, what the hell happened in my life? 18 months. Was she the same kid I was holding in my arms when she got birth? Like, those things that hit me hard, and I was like forced to think, okay, what am I doing in my life just to make some money? Although I was knowing that I was turning blind, I was running behind money stuffs and all. That one thing made me to take the decision of quitting my business, and in 2019 I decided to quit my business. Now, answering your question, in a deep thought, when I thought on myself, when I gave a shots of thought about me and myself, what am I? Who am I? And what am I doing? Right? I'm a father, I'm a son, I am a brother, right? I am an employee, I'm a husband, right? So many different roles to play in day life. Making sense, right, Satish? We all have
Yes.
different roles to play. But as a whole, who was I? I was single person Kushal. I was playing different roles. That hit me very hard. And I was able to crack that code. I was working on it slowly day by day, but I was able to crack that code in 2021, and 2022 was majorly awesome for me. With the thoughts that I had in 2018, although I never left those thoughts, the elements started building up. Now, the reason was I thought like I can't be just productive in one area. I can't be just a productive father or a productive employee. No, I have to build myself on the ground level, being Kushal and work as a Kushal, work on Kushal. So that's when I started cracking the code. If I work on myself, I build that discipline, why the hell will I give reasons to any roles that I'm going to play? No, I'm not going to give any bullshit reason. There is always like thought, action, thought, action, thought, action. I started following this process. Yes, procrastination and everything will be the part of game. No one is immune to that. But the reason behind that, what actually works is people procrastinate. That's okay. That's okay. But when they procrastinate, they work when they decided for doing that. Maybe I got a task to do today. Be it like anyone, like Elon Musk or any productive person of this globe, right? When you get a task, you procrastinate it, and that's okay. But what is not okay, if I procrastinate now and postpone it to 3 or 4 days later, when that third or fourth day comes, I should act on it. I should not procrastinate again. Now, this is the problem when we talk about procrastination. People like, gotta come, हाँ बाद में कर लेंगे, देख लेंगे. They procrastinate, and that's okay. When the time comes there again, maybe something else is coming into their plate, or something else has already come into plate, and they're like, oh, can't do both the things, let me procrastinate again. Obviously you can't hold on two things at once. Then again procrastination, then third time again procrastination, then again fourth time procrastination. It is getting piled up in your subconscious mind. Now whenever something pops up, you're like procrastinating first, then thinking about that task. Is it making sense, guys? Is it making sense, Satish?
Yes, yes, yes.
Right?
Makes
So
perfect sense.
that's how I crack the code of being productive. I believe in being productive personally, man. That's a clear-cut thought I have. I'll be productive as a Kushal. You tell me, you call me as a friend. I know that productivity is going to bleed as a friend in the role of a friend as well.
Yes.
My daughter calls me. I know that productive Kushal is going to be with productive mindset as a father to my daughter. Is it making sense? I'm
Yes,
working on
yes.
myself. Now the rules, let it play on its automation. I'm allowing that productivity to bleed in all the areas. Let it bleed and take its own color, own shape, and own outcomes. Let it. Now the procrastination, inconsistency, all these elements like monsters, whatever you call them, they are getting eliminated on automation. Not 100%. I guarantee you, no one can beat this 100%. But it's all about doing, putting the efforts. Don't like I'm an effort-oriented guy, man. I never think about results because results are results. Pass will be a result, even fail will be a result, right? The result is result. There will be some or the other outcome. To get the right outcome, I need to work in a right way. That's when I'll get the right outcome. If you like want to attend like MBA exam and you're studying MCOM syllabus and you'll say that, okay, like I'll attend the exam and get into MBA college. Will that make sense?
No.
No. It's simple, as simple as that. You want to get right outputs, work on right useful task. Get the output. Who the hell will stop you? Let me see that. No one is going to stop you. I tell you one more thing. The only thing that is stopping people for being productive is they themselves, no one else. Because I read this in the book. All the reasons that we tell not doing a task is a lie. Every reason that we give is a lie. We know that. We don't have to prove it to anyone. We can't lie ourselves. Any reason I'm giving it, maybe few things make a genuine, sense. But one or the other call, most of the time we give a reason, and that is a lie. So that's how I look into productivity and procrastination topics, man.
Yes, awesome, man. I think you also mentioned the fact that productivity is not all about completing the task, but at least initiating them,
Yeah,
and
that's the
that
issue.
really opened
Yeah.
my perspective on a different view
Mm.
altogether. So since you mentioned about procrastination, I
Mm.
have to highlight this term called productive procrastination, which you have shared yourself. Um, in your
Mm.
programs. I came
Mm.
across this term for the first time in your program. So I
Okay.
want you to shed some light on this term called productive procrastination, and
Okay.
how can we leverage it for our growth.
Mm. So I'll tell you, leveraging, I'll leave it to your own self, but I'll tell you what does productive procrastination uh, stand and how does it work. It's not a concept of working intentionally. It's a process that happens on automation. I'll tell you what happens. Sometimes few people understand and few people like me don't understand. It gives the result later on. I'll tell you what happened when I was in college. The reason I'm giving examples is so that you can connect it exactly. Now, what does productive procrastination mean is working on something that is not beneficial to you at this moment, but you know that this will benefit you at one or the other point in the coming future. It's not like you will start building that skill and it will give you results right now. For example, I tell you, I was never interested in studies, but I did my masters in one shot. The reason was I knew that being with a bachelor degree in a job is never going to increase the stability of my increase the financial status of my life. So I thought to go with the master degree. I did it in a first class range. I did it, but when I was studying seriously, I was never interested in studies. I was just doing it for doing sake. Everyone knows it in my family, my lecturers. He's like just doing it for doing sake. And I was like, yeah, I need that promotion patterns. So I'm taking this master degree. But in 2015, I completed my master's. In 2014, my dad started a business. And in the whole family of Kulkarnis, that was the first business ever started. Our roots are coming from job patterns. Okay. My previous roots are from, everything is from job. Maybe maybe after my dad starting it, I am the someone who broke that pattern, right? Complete. I'm out of job completely. Although my situation made me to act on it, and I'm seriously like total gratitude to those moments because without that, I wouldn't have been seeing these moments. Thanks for those, whatever happened in my earlier period. So what I used to do in my college time was I had a friend who was into business. He had his business from years and years. So I was always like, how do you do this? How do you talk to people? Okay. I was always about marketing skills, sales skills, and all. How do you sell a product? Like, suppose you go to a new shop, he doesn't know you, you don't know him, you have a product, maybe product is new. How do you approach? And I was always with this curiosity of new questions and new questions. And after some time, my curiosity built so high that I started going to market and experimenting with myself. Those 6 months to 12 months of asking questions to my friends and other marketing peoples, what I was doing there was I was procrastinating studies, but I was working on skill that would be productive for me in future. Is that making sense?
Wow. Yes.
Is that making sense?
Yes.
I didn't knew that how these sales skills will going to help me. But in 2015, October, when I took the charge of my business, October, November, December, January is like I was having rotation of lakhs. Earlier it was just thousand. January it was like in lakhs, lakhs and lakhs. I still have those records in my system, you know. And when I came to know about this productive procrastination, I thought like what I have done in my life being procrastination is I understand but what I have done with productive procrastination, all the scenarios started hitting my life. Like, dude, you did this. That was not at all needed at that time, but you did. But in 2016, 17, 18, that helped you. The skills which I worked on in 2015, is it productive procrastination? I was procrastinating studies, which were the need of that time. I had to study because I had to complete my master. Although I was doing it, but with a very little percentage. As a student, what is the intention? What is the task? Studies, right? but I was not doing that. I was working on skills that would be helpful in my near future. That's how the productive procrastination comes. And everyone does that unknowingly, unknowingly. Few people are like, padhai karo. Mom and dad are like, padhai karo. And they are like playing guitar. They're enjoying it. And maybe in near future, they got a concert to do it. What if he never played a guitar? Right? What if he procrastinated studies, or maybe working on any project, and being an employee working on a project, he procrastinated it. And in near future, he turned out to be a rock star because he was practicing guitar and singing. And all of a sudden, he got an invitation. Oh, we know this guy. He plays guitar and singing. He does singing. Let us invite him. And he got that shot. Maybe he got paid 1 lakh rupees. Do you think that if you wouldn't have productively procrastinated things and productively worked on a skill of guitar and singing, would that person got a chance? Answer me.
No,
Would
no,
that
no.
happen?
Yes.
So
No,
this is
no.
something productive procrastination happens. This happens on automation. We can't work intentionally on that because we can never predict the future, right? What is going to be helpful? It's all efforts that gets paid off in the future. That's how the system works.
Yes. I think to this, adding to this, I think even our mentor, we have our own mentor who always mentions about this. Since he was into music and he had to keep that into back burner just so that he wants to work on skills
Exactly.
that will secure him first as a family, to create a
Mm.
legacy first. And music is something which he takes it as a hobby. And
Exactly.
I think giving your example reminded me of that. So so before coming to the third question, the thing I really have to especially acknowledge you for, uh, especially after working with you, there are a lot of change in the patterns of my habits and routines. And and when it comes to changing a habit and routine, I think many of us could relate that there will be a lot of resistances that will help us to not go into that, not to accept that change maybe. And I want to know from your perspective on how to re-engineer our habits in the most aesthetic way.
Okay, now this is an interesting concept. Again, I would like to, although like you can, I'm like a Sadguru, okay? I'm not comparing, but I can't answer anything in one line, okay? I'm sorry for my behavior, but I can never answer anything in one line. I'm going to talk and talk on every concept that you tell me. Is it okay?
Yes, yes, yes.
That's how I have built, man.
We
I
are all
like.
yes, yes.
Thank you, thank you. So sorry to compare myself with Sadhguru, but I just reminded like he answered in one of the stage like I think Karan Johar was asking him one line answer, and he was like he was asked a question, and Sadhguru sat quiet for a few seconds and he just asked, "Can I answer this in few sentences?" Because he is used to that. That's why Sadhguru is known for, right? So with
Yes.
that, like even I am like a what do you say? I like giving a broad view of everything so that at least in some angle that reaches the person. So you asked about building habits. In short, if you like, if I understand your question, you're talking about building habits. Despite knowing that we don't have that habits and we want to build those habits, we understand that these habits which we are working or which we are going through are not beneficial at this moment. They are not benefiting us in any way, but still we don't change. Now, the idea behind engineering this is ask two questions to yourself. Is your current situation helping you? If yes, then please continue to, be like this. Who is stopping you? Second, if it's not, then dude, it's time to take your charge and change. Figure out what habits you need. For example, you want to wake up early. And many people are like, I'm waking up at 9 a.m., man, nothing is happening bad to me. Yes, you say nothing bad is happening to me. I'll tell you, dude, you are missing the most beautiful hours of your life. Most beautiful hour. Right? Suppose you want to wake up early in the morning. Now, see, maybe you just want to build that habit of exercise, meditation, mental health, physical health, or maybe you want to just build an habit of reading a book. Now, how many things are happening on automation? You wanted to build a habit of waking up. Now you have so much extra hours. You never witnessed it in your life. Now, the thing here is you get more and more ideas over there. Ideas. You can build the way you want about yourself. And believe me, when you start building good habits, it is for sure giving you benefit in one or the other way. And we all know that. We all know that. We need to have those good habits. Just by saying, I want to wake up early, it doesn't happen that way. There is no magic pill, right? You need to take those efforts. Be it anything. When you want to wake up early again on automation, you have to sleep early. Again, a good habit has been built. For that early sleeping, you have to have your dinner early. Maybe 10:30 you are sleeping, at least 8:30, 9 o'clock you should have your dinner. Again, a good habit has been built. With that, for 8:30 to have your dinner, again you should wrap up your task fast. Maybe at least half an hour before your food. Again, a good habit. If you just calculate it backwise, if you start connecting the dots, your life is getting aligned with your own self, and the new shape, it is taking a new shape. Is it making sense, Satish? What I'm
Yes,
trying to
yes.
say?
I think
Yeah.
the thing is, everyone are behind. Okay, this habit might work for me. I think we need to be selective of what works for us, rather
And
than
yeah,
yeah,
what I would add here is, when something thought is hitting your mind, feel like, okay, this might help. Don't overjudge it. Like, this might help or this might not help. Why don't you just try it? Because anyway, time is passing, right? Maybe just let's sit now for 10 seconds, just thinking, okay, this might work or this might not work. Okay, Satish, what do you say? This might work or this might not work. 5 seconds lost. Are we going to get that 5 seconds? No.
no,
Similarly, are we going to get, if I spend 5 minutes or 5 hours, are we going to get it back? No. But
no.
what if I start acting on it? Okay, let me make a plan of planting this seed of new habit inside me. For example, tomorrow I need to wake up. Let me plan how to wake up. Okay. Waking up, let me plan it how the day is good. And tomorrow I do it. Rather than judging will it work or not, I did it next morning. And I got my results. Now I am authorized to judge whether it will work or it will not work. Making sense, Harish?
Yes, yes. It makes
So
perfect sense.
that's how we have to move. Habits, and there are n number of examples from the history. Like, history speaks, man. History speaks. There are like crazy people. Crazy. I don't remember the guy's name. He's a Hollywood actor. He sleeps at 7 p.m. Wakes up at 2:30 a.m. 7 p.m. sleep, and 7:30 somewhere. 2:30 wakes up, man. Believe me, what could be the level of his discipline? What
Yeah,
could, just imagine the level? The time when we are sleeping, he is almost 30-40% done with his task. Now, how much, and working with this pattern just for a week, how ahead is he from us? Can you imagine? He must have completed his exercise. He's building his muscular body, and we are lazily sleeping there. What the hell is happening here, then? Right?
yes,
So
yes.
I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, I think you are mentioning about Mark Wahlberg. I think I came across this video of the Hollywood actor
Uh,
you mentioned.
I don't remember his name exactly,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
totally.
Hmm.
Maybe if I remember someday, I'll just make a
Yeah,
mark in my.
yeah. His name, I think, is Mark Wahlberg. So
Okay,
I think, yeah.
as long as I remember, his name starts with J, I think. But I'm sorry. What I mean to say is the person exists.
Okay, yeah,
The person exists.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
it can be done.
Amazing, man. Thank you for sharing that perspective. And uh, one more thing I have to acknowledge is that one of the biggest breakthroughs that I had after working with you was uh, so I am an aspiring coach, and I had this vague idea in me that how I should deliver my program.
Mm,
And I was very confident about that idea, but I was very clueless about the execution of it. And I was completely pointless how to make it a reality. And
mm,
but with your help, those ideas became solid action plans, and things have started coming to place. Just like this show, this was an
mm,
idea which came in the last 21 days itself, and
mm.
look at this. Now it's already happening, and I really have to thank you for that. And in a nutshell, if you have to advise anyone out here on how to change your idea into an action,
Mm.
how would be that in a simple framework?
Okay. So what I would suggest here is, if you got an idea inside your mind, that means your mind is really working well, right? First point. Now, when your mind is really working at that level that it is creating an idea inside it, why to give shit on losing it? Why don't you just act on it? Now there are n number of plans to work on it. Why don't you just give yourself 5 minutes of time every day, 5 minutes to develop that idea? Anyways, you're not working it, right? Why don't you give it a chance, right? Giving 5 minutes of time, maybe you create that flow state, and that idea is really, who knows, like you have an idea which is going to change the whole world. We never know our potential, right? Unless and until we start working on it. Start working on it. Maybe fifth day, working just for 5 minutes, on fifth day, you have a very major breakthrough just because of that idea. And everything is like changed in moments. Everything. And with that, you got that motivation. You created your own motivation. You're not relying on motivation that most of the people find outside them. You created your own motivation, right? That is so inspiring, that is making you to take more and more action. Now, maybe 10th day, a level up breakthrough happened. What happened last week, a next level breakthrough happened. Again, your life is changing, right? So just 5 minutes, working on that 5 minutes, because I think people even procrastinate working for 5 minutes as well. But as I said, really, when your mind is creating that idea, that means your mind is working. You are a very skilled person. You are a very, blessed person, I must say. Now, I just leave it to you. You just want to destroy that blessings in just by procrastinating things, or just losing out the grip over it, or you take the charge and start working on it. Now you decide. No one is coming to take charge of you every time. We are not kids, right? We are grown up. We need to take our decisions. So that's what I would add on this. Like, start working on it. Don't judging should not be the plan in the process. Let the process judge itself on its own. We are not authorized to judge anything. Put your efforts. Don't work on the results. Put efforts. Work on your efforts. And as I said, results will be results. Whatever you study, you'll get your marks. Hope that makes sense again.
Yes. Awesome, and thank you for really elaborating on that fact. So if you're wondering about what am I talking about this 21-day program, so Kushal is doing a 21-day exclusive productivity workflow challenge. It's called the Productivity Workflow Challenge, which lasts for 21 days. And believe me, your perspective on productivity will be completely changed altogether, and you will understand the fact that this is something you really need to work on. And I have to thank you for that, for creating such an amazing program. And if you want to share a bit about this program, about who is it for, and what they can expect at the end of this program, can you share a little more details about this?
Okay, so first, answering the first question, who this program is for? This program is only purely for action takers, because I wouldn't allow anyone to enroll in my program who is not ready to take the action. Because I say this in my class, I have said it tons of times in my class as well. You know it very well. I'm feeding the food in your mouth, right? I'm literally feeding the food in your mouth. Now, if you tell me that I can't chew, then please get out of my program. Simply get out of my program. Because I'm sorry for being hard, but please tell me the fact that who should chew? Mouth is here, the food is in your mouth. If I chew, is it going to get into my stomach and give the energy? No, right?
No.
What I mean to say here is, everything is set, but action is required. That achieving action has to be taken by you itself. I'm ready to feed the food. No one will do that. I mean, I'm not telling that I'm the only one doing it. Many people must be doing that. We should be appreciating the efforts that people are doing it. I'm literally, keeping the food ready in front of you, and some of the times I'm feeding you as well, like a mother, father, they do to their kids. Now, if you tell me like you are not ready to act on it, not ready to chew, boss, leave about me. God can't help you. God can't help you. So this program is for real action takers. If you want to take charge of yourself, come in and see the magic getting unfold. Okay, I bet you that. Now, the program has been designed in such a way that three things will be covered into it: planning, implementation, and organization. These are the three things which I've covered very intentionally. Why? Because the whole game revolves around these things. People are good in planning, they are bad in implementation. People are bad in implementation, but they are bad in organization. People who are bad in organization, people who are good in organization, but they are bad in implementing and planning. One or the other element is lacking, right? So I designed it in such a way that, believe me, these people, the batch, didn't allow me to take a break. These people, I thought like I would give a break in the 21-day challenge, and these people didn't allow me to take a break. Now, see the level of, bonding that was created from day one to day. I'm not talking about the bonding between the human to human level of teaching, the bonding of concept to concept. These people didn't want to break it. They said like, even on Sundays we want to connect. Now, in the last 21 days, I guarantee you, so many good habits have been built in these people. I'm
Yes.
not saying anything. This is something that these people have given me the response.
Yes.
Now, planning, implementation, organization. I've broken every concept with examples, with my real experience, and I make to people act on the class itself. There is an action-packed plan followed after the concept. And right after the class, I'll not say anything. Here is the guy who just said, this guy, 21 days, he has shared me 21 breakthroughs. Am I right, Satish?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right? I'm not guaranteeing it on my behalf, like I am the one who created it. No, I did nothing. I was like a very minor to minor connecting dot in the process. But these people acted on it. That's how they had 21 days, 21 breakthroughs. And I think nothing more validates the process when a students are really proving it right to the mentor or the coach, whatever you name them. So that's how it has been designed. 21 days, be with me, hold on to your patience for 21 days and see the magic unfolding right from first, second, third day itself. You don't have to wait for 21st day to get that breakthrough or transformation. You'll see it right from the first day. Is that making sense, Satish? Am I
Yes.
saying it
Yes.
right or
Yes.
wrong?
Exactly. I think this also validates one of our um concepts taught by our mentor. You just have to show the direction to them. You just have to
Exactly.
take that journey to them. And believe me, it's not. Yes, you shared a lot of concepts, and those helped us to discover ourselves rather than okay, this is something okay, I'll implement. Okay, Kushal did this. Not, it's not like that. It came from within us. It's not all the results came from within us. We were like, I think many of us in this challenge could relate to this fact that uh, we could tap into our own potential. Okay, ye kahan chupa tha? That kind of a feeling was that really came up with us, and uh, really, I just want to acknowledge the wonder and the magnitude that your program has. We never imagined that it would do this much of change within us, and thank you for crafting such a beautiful journey for us. Before ending this, I want to ask a very personal question, and uh, the thing is, many people around you, be it your family, your friends, and including me, we're all praying for the Almighty that you will be able to see this world one day. And I just want to ask a very, out of curiosity, I just want to ask, what is that list of things that you want to do first? And I just want to know whether you would cut off from this world and go off, or else uh, you want to continue this mission. I just want to know because I know it's a very emotional concept for you, but I want to know what's in your brain.
You tapped it, man. Um, Yeah, I've made a commitment on myself. Like, uh, okay, yes, there is a list because I always visualize. I said that I always visualize. Now, with that questions, all the pointers right are in front of my eyes now. Yeah, the first thing, man, obviously, man, I would. Wow, it's so beautiful. Yeah, man, the first thing I would like to do is like, suppose, um, suppose like if I get my eyesight right now. Oh, God, awesome. Uh, yeah, I'm sorry for that, but oh shit,
I
couldn't
think I
control it,
should be
man.
the one to apologize you. Maybe I
No,
went
no, I'm
too
really
far.
sorry. Like that's my commitment. But these are something can't control. But actually, it has to flow one or the other day. First thing, man, I would like to see my daughter. I'm keeping this above Almighty because I'll tell you this fact. Every evening, when I get like around 7:15, I sit for my prayers. That's the evening time, right? Uh, I have the habit of touching my parents' elders' feet. Okay, so and kids till the age of 12, they are so pure, they are equivalent to God. Okay, and being blessed with a baby girl, it's a super amazing fact. Like in Indian thing, like we consider daughters as Devi, right? Goddess, maybe like Parvati, Saraswati, name anything. We just consider them as goddess. So I started building this habit of touching my daughter's feet as well. You know,
Wow.
doing the with a posture of namaskar, bending with my on my knees and touching her feet. When I first did it, first time, I don't know, that came out of my heart. Like although I am her father, I just like there's a so much of divine purity in this kid. You know, kids have that, right? So I touched her feet and I just said like, I'm touching your feet. Although it was with a feelings involved with fun kind of, you can say that. But that evening, she said like, she said in Marathi, in the like the mother tongue, she said that, and I'm not able to phrase it, man. Like it was so beautiful. She said like, let Almighty give your eyesight back.
Wow.
And me.
I think
Wow.
God is talking on.
Yeah, I trust that. I trust that. And since then, I'm touching her feet, and she repeats it every time. She repeats it every time in the mother tongue. Marathi says that तुमचे डोळे मस्त राहू दे.
Wow.
I mean, I couldn't phrase it in English. I don't know why. But and the second thing what I would like to do is drive car and go to the temple
Mm.
so that I can see those. murtis, those scriptures. I don't know what are they called. The murtis. I want to see them, which I've seen. It's been years and years. I visit temple. Then slowly I want to visit everyone in my list. Like I want to crazily roam around, man. Roam around. See this greenery. See this road. See those stones, mud. You know, the area where I live in, my house, the gate we just renovated a year back. My room which we renovated, like the furnitures that we recently bought. Want to play with my dog. I want to see her face. You know, I want her to lick me on my face, on my hand, everywhere. And want to do all the crazy stuff, man. Want to do all the crazy stuff. The list is so high that can't. But awesome, man. Thank you for asking that. Thank you. I could visualize it.
Awesome. And actually, I really have to uh, appreciate this fact that you are so grounded as a human being, and you find the happiness in the very little things in life, and that is something I think many are missing out. We are blessed with a lot of things that we have, but we never acknowledge it. Uh, we never acknowledge this beautiful creation that we are. Thank you for really shedding that light on that. And I think mentor also mentioned that you might have lost your vision, but you're a visionary. And I just want to reiterate that once again. And you are definitely a visionary, Kushal, and you have been inspiring a lot of people around. And wish all the prosperity and the luck for you. And I think you, thank you for being you. Even I'm getting a little emotional, but I think we'll just end it on a happy note. And it was
Yes.
really good to know this side from you as well, Kushal. And it has been, I'm really happy to have you as my first guest in my interview show, because you hold a very special place in me. Thank you once again. Thank you for being you.
Thank you, man. Thank you. So actually, thank you for tapping into some areas. Maybe need of the time. Yeah, I mean, thanks. Like, I'm sorry for getting those kind, like getting emotional, but but actually, it's like all these elements make the real person what we are. Like, it's not that being a male you can't cry, or being a female you have to be always, you know, pressed under pressure and all. No, we are humans, right? Who knows, like, soul out of me can get into a soul of into a body of female next birth, next year, not next birth. And who knows, like a anything can happen, right? So as a person, these are the elements what builds us. Like, people talk about three niche. I talk about the four pillars: spirituality, health, relationships, wealth. Because spirituality is something I would like to connect on priority and on the top. Then comes my physical health and mental health. And obviously, when I'm doing that spirituality, my mental health is stabilized. And with that, mental health, physical health on automation, it is stabilized. So I don't have to worry on that. Obviously, because on automation, I'll have my food and everything. With that, the second thing, when I'm physically and mentally fit, I take care of my relationships as well. When these elements are stabilized, I can focus more on my wealth part as well. And everything is balanced there. Spirituality, health, relationships, and wealth. Four pillars. Very, very important. Yeah, man.
Awesome.
Thanks for calling me, and thanks for tapping on the areas and bringing out the more reality out of me. Thank you, Satish. Thank you. Means a
Thank
lot.
you. It was an honor for me from my side. So with that, if you really like this video, if you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, make sure you like and share your what are your breakthroughs listening to Kushal. And if you really want to work with Kushal, please I'll be sharing in the details in the link below as well, so that you'll get to know how you can get close to Kushal and work with him, and to get into his signature program. So he's about to start his next batch very soon. So until then, this is me, Satheesh here, your host. Keep impacting, keep inspiring. Bye bye.